Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show, and I am very pleased again to have our friend Jax Mariash here in studio. Welcome back to the program.
Nice to see you.
It's great to see you. I had such a thrill getting to hear you talk to our airmen out at the Utah Air National Guard base this weekend, talking about resilience, talking about training, talking about just, perseverance. There were so many great topics there that kind of meet with our Wingman Day and our focus on health and what have you. It was excellent.
Thank you.
It was great to have you there, and it kind of got me motivated. I'm like, I got so much to do. You think about it. I've got a lot to do with my body. But the thing that I want to talk to you about, there's so much actually. Mm-hmm. Let's start with, you and I haven't had a chance to sort of talk about last year and what you went through with the desert racing, and it was crazy.
It was so crazy.
Give us a little recap, because last we saw you here, and well, we shouldn't say, we saw you right after you came back. Mm-hmm. Now you've had some real time to think about it, and some time to see what's happened to other people who could participate with you. Yeah. And it's kind of interesting what's gone on. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about Antarctica, first of all.
So I guess just to recap real quick, last year I was the first woman in the world to complete the 4 Deserts race series, which is 5 155-mile self-supported ultra running races all over the world. And then I won the main 4, which made me the 2016 female world champion.
Wow.
So the end of that race series was actually in Antarctica. And it was probably the hardest race I think any of us have done in our lives.
Yeah.
And we thought it was going to be a victory lap and really easy. And
it was nothing like that.
No, it was like absolute torture the entire time. Just running in slushy snow. It was just just slipping around, and so it was very, very, very big victory at the end for sure.
Now, the getting to this place was part of the battle all by itself. You guys had to ride, you went by boat in some of the worst, most rough water that this planet has to offer.
Yeah, correct. We had to go through the Drake Passage, which is the roughest seas in the world, and on the way there they actually called it the Drake Lake, which was still rolling, and we all still had a lot of seasickness. And then on the way back, it was 25-foot waves, just crashing and rolling around for 48 hours.
And you rode into that, go into Antarctica from that boat, get off the boat, and run the next morning, right?
Yeah, 100K I think was the goal. And I think Kyle, the lead man, hit 100K and I hit 90K. Wow. And then the next day you're running another 10 hours, the next day 9 hours, and it's just these loops that are just treacherous and really hard conditions.
My favorite part of this story you talk about is that because of the protected status of penguins, which they should be, it's their, that's their part of the planet.
It is.
When they step into your trail, you got to stop.
Yeah, penguins have the right of way. So if they hop into our running path, you just need to stop. So if you're in any type of competitive situation, such as luck, so. Wow. Yeah.
Well, a little penguin help here would have been a great thing.
Yes.
Did you have one get in front of you at all?
I didn't. I was really lucky. I think my favorite part was we actually had a loop where we zigzagged up a mountain and then would loop back around, and the penguin actually was at the top while we were just post-holing to create the track for all the runners behind, and the penguin jumped and slipped on his belly and just soared down the whole mountain, and it was just a nice bit of laughter and relief because of what we were going through.
Yeah, and wishing you could do the same, I bet.
I wish.
That's amazing. Wow. So you get done with all this, you come back as a champion, and then I gotta wonder, you go, now what?
Yep.
What?
That was a common question that was asked a lot, and there was a huge burnout phase, I think, that we all went through for probably 3 months. And so we're finally figuring it out. I've been jostling some ideas around with some of my sponsors, and I'm going to do a little bit more of the traditional 100-mile races. I'm doing a couple of those.
Traditional 100-mile races?
Yeah.
You're going to cut it back a little bit.
But I selected a race actually called the Death March, just as another inspirational. We're doing it more for fun, but we never know with my mental grit I may be able to surpass everyone. But basically it's a 4-mile loop that you do every hour on the hour until no one's left. So it's kind of like last man standing, and so it's a lot of strategy.
This is in Death Valley.
No,
right?
This is in Texas on Clark's Creek.
Okay.
And
might as well be Death Valley.
Yeah. Well, last year The person that won did it 46 times. So that's
Serious?
46 hours. Yeah, so you have a crew, sports staff, and so on, and we're just gonna have fun and see what happens and, you know, go into it lighthearted, but it would be cool to be the first woman and the only woman left standing.
Wow, I'd
we'll
like to
see.
see that happen too. Okay, we're expecting some impressive results here, I gotta tell you.
We'll try.
Knowing how tough you are mentally, I'm expecting to see a win. This is a small part of your schedule. I'm looking at this schedule. Okay, this is like a full sheet of marathons and ultra marathons she's planning on running just in the next few months. So I'm just going to read some of these because it's crazy. So did you already do the winter circuit up at Ogden?
The Ogden winter circuit goes like through till the Ogden marathons.
Yeah. Oh, so you did the first one though on February 11th?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Then you got one in March 18th. Then in April you've got again another part of that, which is the half marathon. Then you're going to go do the Boston maybe.
Yeah, maybe
in
tentative.
April.
Yeah.
Then come back to winter circuit in Ogden again. Then Ogden Marathon on May 20th.
Yeah.
Then in June you're going to do Shadows of the Giant at 50K.
Yeah.
Good grief. And then the Visually Cycling Relay, also in June. 2 days of riding.
Yeah, it's a really fun relay from Moab to St. George with 4 people on your team. So I'm gonna
Moab to St. George.
Yeah, so it'll be fun.
So a little up and down and a lot of distance and heat.
No
in
problem.
June. Yeah. Then we're going on to that Death March on Clarks Creek.
Yeah.
Good grief. That's crazy. In July. Hot as it can get down there. When we're talking well into the 100-degree mark.
Yeah, it'll be hot. I think humid too, which will be a challenge.
Yeah. Then August, the Audi Power of 450K.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. September, come back for the Cycling Classic Lodoja
Yeah.
here in Utah. That one's a crazy one.
Yeah, it goes from Utah to Jackson Hole.
Yep.
206 miles.
Logan to Jackson Hole. Wow. Okay. Then September 16th, you're going to do the Idaho Mountain Trail Ultra Fest.
Yeah, that's a 100-miler.
100-miler. Then the TNF Endurance.
Yeah, that's here in Park
That's
City.
here. You can definitely do that one, right? We
Yeah.
expect you to win that one.
Hopefully.
But, okay, we'll talk about that in a second because that's another interesting part of this. The Flagstaff Sky Race in October, 55K. Then 100, the Javelina Jundred.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Halloween festival 100-miler.
Okay. November, the New York City Marathon.
Yeah, that's a bucket list.
And you're going to go do this because you got to buy an automatic you're in for winning the other race.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. And then TNF Endurance Series Championships in December. So this is your year, and it includes what, 20 ridiculous marathons and 100Ks.
Yeah.
No big deal.
No big deal.
There is a big deal because this is different for you because you're a long distance runner, right? And
yeah.
over a longer period of time, you're trying to win it by being consistent. Now you got to win it by being fast on a shorter distance.
Yeah,
shorter time.
So luckily I came from like road racing and being a pro triathlete back in like the late 90s and into 2000, and so somehow I always try to keep like really fast road racing mixed in with ultras. So I'm a little bit different in that respect.
Yeah.
So
you've kept your speed.
Yeah, so I like to try to get out 3-hour marathons, and then in the ultras I can relate that into the longer distance due to just mental grit and stamina.
Good grief. All right, I want to take a quick break. I want to come back and talk about some of the other things you're doing, a couple of the foundations and things that you're working on. That's super important. We have just a couple minutes left for that. But in the meantime, before we go to the break, you can eat anything you want, right?
Yeah, pretty much when you get in full training mode, you can eat what you want. And
I like that idea.
I just listen to my body and I just do what it tells me to do, and it works out.
We're going to find out exactly what she means by that when we come back with more here on the Mountain Morning Show. We're taking a quick break. A lot more to come here on Park City Television. Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. We're continuing our conversation with Jax Mariash. We have just a couple minutes left, and I want to talk about probably one of the most important things you're doing, and that is you're working to help people not only understand what Lyme disease is, but also to help with some of the research and things that are going into maybe figuring out how to make this a lesser issue, because people don't even know.
Yeah, so I've been helping out with the LymeLight Foundations for the Grand Slam Plus journey, and there's a big awareness issue with folks not understanding how often people get Lyme disease. It's one of the fastest growing infectious diseases in the world, and so the LymeLight Foundation helps to give medical grants to children to help with that medical care that they need because insurance doesn't cover it.
No, it doesn't, which is kind of weird. It should.
That's rough.
Yeah, I don't know whether they're just saying, well, you were the one that was outside, too bad, right? I don't know. It's kind of strange that they don't step up to the plate for that. But
yeah, it's just hard because it's hard to diagnose, and then there's just so many treatment protocols that go into it, and I don't know the deep depths of it, but it definitely is an issue.
Yeah, for sure. And you recognize that by wearing the LymeLight on your jersey. Not to mention the fact that you guys helped raise some money, and you raised quite a little bit.
Yeah, so we ended up, the goal was 10,000, and we ended up at the end of the year raising 18,000. So that's
double
almost
the goal.
Enough for 2 grants. So it was
That is
really
exciting.
Great.
Wow, you must be proud of that.
Yeah, super proud.
That is really terrific. So you also raising awareness though too. You've done that with your website and with being out there and running with the LymeLight on the outfit.
Yep.
So people learned a lot from you, and you were willing to share that information.
Yeah, and then I think also it helps to just inspire Lyme patients to keep following the treatment protocol and keep at it so that you can get better and get back outside to explore.
Because this really knocks people right down.
Oh, down,
you're
like
not
in bed.
doing stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that. And you've really done a lot to get people outside. But before we talk about that for just a second, how do people get in touch with LymeLight? How do we find more?
So go and visit LymeLightFoundation.org.
Okay. So we go get more information there. And as you and I have talked about a lot, inspiring by getting people outside. That's what we're hoping happens here today as well.
Yes, we are hoping that happens. With the spring and summer coming, people in bikini season and so on, it's my biggest goal is to inspire people to get outside. And so it's just keeping that goal setting going, having your support system there to help you, and just having positive affirmations and making sure to always just pick away at it. And if you keep doing it every single day, it'll happen.
Yeah, and you've got, we're really quickly, can I read these?
Yeah.
Really fast? Because I love these. This is the important ones. I'm working on a couple of these. Choose a goal to work towards, right? That's important. A support system, as you said, family, friends, a coach, you're mine. Positive affirmations, so important. Creating good habits. And that one's especially good with eating and training, and I'm working on that one right now. Plan your week. I haven't been doing that. I got to do that. You do too, I'm sure. Slow and steady wins the race, and we know this is how I won the Summer Push Championships.
Nice.
I was 3rd place every time, and I was right within striking distance, and you win.
That's
that's
awesome.
how it works, right?
Yes.
Thank you so very much for being here. Jax Mariash, thank you for joining us here on the Mountain Morning Show today. For myself, Eliza, and everybody here at Park City Television, join us tomorrow from 7 until 11 on the Mountain Morning Show. Until then, make sure you get on a pair of sticks or board and enjoy that great Utah powder. See you tomorrow right here.